Hi, my name is Keegan Marshall, and I'm a certified personal trainer and corrective exercise specialist here at Pure Body Balance. We're lucky enough to have Dr. Randhawa here today to take us through our exercise of the week, the Kettlebell Deadlift.
So this week we wanted to bring you guys something that would be great for generating power from the hips, as well as looking at rehab for the low back. Now from a clinical standpoint, we have a lot of patients who come in with low back pain. And one of the ways we like to correct this is by giving them exercises that help to engage their hips. Now from a performance standpoint, multiple sports such as golf, tennis, hockey kind of rely on that power generating from the hips to succeed in that sport. So what we'll do today, we'll go over some of the do's and don'ts of the kettlebell deadlift and explain exactly what it is. Now before we get into this, I want to go over and differentiate what the difference between a squat and a hinge would be. As many people we find they tend to think they're doing a deadlift, whereas they're really doing a squat. So I need Keegan just to face that mirror over there for me. Perfect. And when we talk about a squat, really what we see is that the hips are coming down. So Keegan, if you will, just demonstrate a body weight squat for us. Great, and come right back up. So you notice in this circumstance, his hips are coming straight down. Now when we talk about a hinging movement, the hips are actually coming straight back. So if Keegan, you do a hinge for us, there it is there. So you can see that his hips are starting to shoot back a bit. So they're two different movements. Now the movement we want to be looking at is the kettlebell deadlift. Now before I get into that, a lot of people have said, deadlifts hurt my back. Well, to kind of quote Dan John on this, deadlifts don't hurt your back the way you do deadlifts hurt your back. So we kind of want to go over what the difference between a kettlebell deadlift would be versus your traditional straight bar deadlift. So if I get Keegan to set up in more of a traditional standpoint, I want to bring your attention to two different things. The first would be center of mass. If we look at the kettlebell, its center of mass is right here, versus Keegan, his center of mass is going to be kind of right where his low back is. If he was now engaged and actually trying to pick that bell up, the fulcrum that he'd be using was his low back, and this is where you start to run into issues of low back pain. But in a more traditional kettlebell deadlift, what we're going to see is Keegan, go ahead and set to that. He's going to actually have that weight behind him a little bit. And so from this position, when he's lifting up, the center of mass of the kettlebell is directly underneath the center of mass of his actual body. So this way, we're able to spare the low back. Now, a couple tips we want to go through before you even start an exercise like this. It's imperative that you have a proper screen done to make sure you're a candidate for any of these type of exercises. That being said, we're going to start off with Keegan here. And how we like to cue the exercise is to have them initially start with their body just over the belt. I like to have them start with a soft knee, so not this hard knee or having a straight leg, a little bit more of a soft knee. To help cue to get the low back but the thoracolumbar involved, I'm going to get him to actually engage his lats a little bit. Get him to do that, we'll take these towels, stick it right underneath his armpit, and he's going to squeeze these towels for dear life. Doing that really engages the lats, which will help to kind of concentrate that posterior chain that we're looking for. And in this position here, Keegan, go ahead and give me a soft knee. Good, and now reach behind you and try to pick that bell up. Good, come right back up tall. Good, go ahead and reach down and actually grab the handle, and come up. Good, and then back down again. Perfect. So there we have a kettlebell deadlift. Now, some of the issues that we do see is that rounding of the back. Now, I need Keegan to demonstrate a real bad kettlebell deadlift. And we start to see that his back kind of starts around here. Now, to help prevent that problem, I think a lot of trainers make the mistake of decreasing the weight or just scaling back the load. Where in fact, we actually want to keep that load a little bit heavier, and what we need to do is regress this exercise. So instead of Keegan reaching down to a point on the ground he cannot actually touch, we'll bring the ground up to him. And to do that, we will use a quick step, put that kettlebell on. So now we bring the kettlebell up a little bit higher, and Keegan can repeat the exercise for us. Good, and come right back up. Perfect. And that's how we can kind of eliminate that. So we hope that you guys enjoy the exercise of the week. Stay tuned because we will go through this every week, and hopefully you guys will get some more pointers through both me and Keegan.
Thank you.